Venezuela is undergoing a coup and U.S. elections are under attack. No, it's not the early 2000s again. We're just replaying the hits. I'm Tiffany Corrada, and welcome to a news show. On Friday, President Donald Trump announced U.S. forces had captured Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and that he would stand trial on American soil.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about.
Because that's what we're all about. Some pretty casual language to announce a coup d'etat. What is this? The hokey pokey? You put Maduro in, you take Maduro out, you put the U.S. in, and you shake it all about. Because apparently that's what it's all about. Shifting gears for a moment, the U.S. State's Postal Service adopted a new rule so that mail is no longer postmarked on the day it's received, but rather when it's processed by an automated sorting machine. This change only affects mail, taxes, ballots, and the entire concept of deadlines. It's also great if you enjoy suspense, bureaucracy, and mild panic. When asked if this was to ensure mail-in ballots would not be counted in the upcoming 2026 midterm elections, the clerk replied, "Hey man, I just work here." Making traffic stops a little more exciting, on Friday, a U.S. appeals court ruled that California's ban on openly carrying firearms is unconstitutional. The ruling means you will start to see firearms tucked into yoga pants at farmers markets, and Californians will whisper, "Is that legal?" constantly. A new study found that humans are more monogamous than meerkats, but less monogamous than beavers. More fantastic work from researchers at the University of Watching Animals Do It. It makes sense that beavers aren't very faithful to their partners. They're literally known for being eager. The State Department has reversed a Biden-era decision to use Calibri font in order to make reading documents more accessible for readers with disabilities. Now, they're only using the super manly, anti-woke Times New Roman font, known best for being used by phishing emails, 4chan users, and your retired dad. Hey, Paul. Thanks for watching. And finally, a deadly fungus is spreading through California and Nevada, putting strain on hospitals and nursing homes. Officials urged calm, then immediately used the phrase rapid spread. Officials say the fungus passes through breathing tubes and catheters. Basically, it gets in through your mouth hole or your pee hole. With measles and COVID increasing in circulation throughout the U.S., when it comes to unchecked diseases, well, that's
what we're all about.
House Republicans released the footage of former special counsel Jack Smith, who testified for 8 hours last month about the charges he brought against President Donald Trump. With more on this story, we go to our segment, Testifying. It's the new defying. Jack Smith. You may be thinking, who the hell is that and why does he have such a fake-sounding name? Well, in 2022, former Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed Smith to be the special counsel leading the 2 open investigations against Trump. One was about classified government documents being stashed at Mar-a-Lago, and the other was about Trump's efforts to incite his supporters to overthrow the government in response to the 2020 election. Now, what the hell is a special counsel, and why does it have such a fake-sounding name? It's a lawyer appointed to investigate and potentially prosecute any case the Justice Department perceives itself as having a conflict of interest in. Basically, think of it like you're fighting with your girlfriend, so you ask a random stranger at the bar to weigh in because they're not directly involved, so surely they will be able to tell your girlfriend that yes, it was wrong of her to eat most of your fries when she said she didn't want any in the first place. You may recall Smith dropped his charges against Trump after he won the 2024 presidential election. So why did the House Oversight Committee call Smith to testify? Presumably to catch him in some sort of lie and prove the investigations he conducted were politically motivated. Unfortunately for them, as much as the rest of us didn't know who Jack Smith was, they really didn't know who Jack Smith was.
The evidence here made clear that President Trump was by a large measure, the most culpable and most responsible person in this conspiracy. These crimes were committed for his benefit. The attack that happened at the Capitol as part of this case does not happen without him. But how this conspiracy that was trying to stop the lawful transfer of power, how that worked, it was important for us to understand. We had evidence from Department of Justice officials that Donald Trump said to them, just say the election is corrupt and leave the rest to me and the Republican congressman. I think given that was the perspective that Donald Trump had, our view is that the case we would have presented at trial would have been Donald Trump preying on the party allegiance of people in his party. One of the strengths of our case and why we felt we had such strong proof is our witnesses were not going to be political enemies of the president. They were going to be political allies. We had numerous witnesses who would say, I voted for President Trump. I campaigned for President Trump. I wanted him to win. The Speaker of the House in Arizona, the Speaker of the House in Michigan. We had an elector in Pennsylvania who is a former congressman who is going to be an elector for President Trump, who said that what they were trying to do was an attempt to overthrow the government and illegal.
Do you agree with the majority's characterization that your office was weaponized?
No.
Was your special counsel's office weaponized in any way?
No.
Did you conduct a politically motivated prosecution of Donald J. Trump?
I did not.
Would you like to have explained directly to the American people why these characterizations are not true?
Yes.
God damn. You've heard of having your foot on someone's neck, but have you ever seen someone jam their foot down someone's throat like that? For the record, Smith actually wanted his testimony to be public, but the committee denied that request, and it seems pretty clear why. Despite the fact that Trump himself wanted Smith to testify publicly because there's no way he can answer these questions, it seems this Republican-led committee knew damn well they were about to be trounced. Which begs the question, why did they release this footage at all? Well, it's important to note Smith actually testified on December 17th, but the committee only released the footage on New Year's Eve. If that timing strikes you as odd, just think of it this way. On New Year's Eve, prominent journalists such as Anderson Cooper were busy doing this.
Joining together. This is tequila, my friend. Anderson,
all right.
Here we go. Bottoms up. Anderson, would you ever wear a coat like this?
Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He amortized me and opened my eyes. Oh.
Yeah, he was busy. Smith collected 2 volumes in connection with these investigations. The one which has largely been released to the public, save for a few redacted protected names, is the one about the January 6th insurrection. The second, the one about classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, has been kept under wraps because of an injunction from U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump appointee who has remained hostile to Smith's investigations. Plenty of people desperately want to know what's in that volume. But as Cannon and the Department of Justice have, for nearly a year, thwarted every effort from Democratic lawmakers and independent organizations to get it released, does it seem likely we'll be able to read any of it anytime soon?
No.
That's our show. Start your year off right by supporting independent media and give us a like. Maybe even a follow if you're nasty. I'm Tiffany Corrada, and now we leave you with tonight's mic drop moment.
There's more.
Imagine living with this house guest for the holidays. That's a 550-pound black bear squeezing into a crawl space beneath this home in Altadena, and it's been living there for the past month. Homeowner Ken Johnson has seen him on security video, roaming as he pleases.
Still going on, and there's no sign of him leaving.
Well, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, they set a trap, and they caught a bear. But it was the wrong one.
There's a bear under my house, and there's nothing I can do about it.
A situation that could only be called unbearable.
That's our show. Support. Kill me.
We are done.